That's better. Yeah, don't think I don't trust you. Okay. Delete that. Delete that. Get rid of that. There we go. Okay. This what if has pretty much been requested. Now, I know I would say I would do the Space Marine what if, but I still need to find out more about the Chaos Ultramarine lore. And unfortunately, there's not that many without mentioning porn, so, well, I'm going to try my very best. Yes, but by the way, to the one who guessed it, I gotta get to the community. Let's see. What was your name, my bastard? Because, unfortunately, another person guessed it right, Orc Slayer. British Marshmallow. Yeah, good guess on the Night Lord. It does look like that. Like, really, really good guess. But, unfortunately, Orc Slayer got it right. It is an Ultramarine Tauren Chaos. However, I do not remember what their chapter is called. And as a matter of fact, that's not a Chaos Marine. They don't work. I don't know where he got that armor, I think. No way, he is a Chaos. It's been a while since I recognized it. Besides, they have so many versions of the Chaos Marine. It's not even funny. Okay. But, yeah. In this one, when Izuku... Yeah, so pretty much we're going to do a glow-up version of what a deku is feared. Yeah, I know what you're all probably going to say, but Dylan, you need to still do that one what if that involves... Oh, the underworld deals. The underworld AU. True, but I'm not going to do that yet. And we're not going to do that yet anyway, because it's like asking to get a fucking slice of fucking bluefin tuna. Oh, that'd be delish. Ish, bluefin tuna. Yummy. But in this one, we're going to go a little further. So pretty much, before we get into it, Izuku, like I said, now I know that there's probably going to be some people who don't remember how that what if's gone, so shout out to, once again, the Rubber.
With GoDaddy payments.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Fuck off, fuck off, ads. Alright, here you go. Oh, now I'm going for a twank.
From the tallest of the piles of the dead came a monster. It burst forth from the dead like a great fish from the sea, and its bellow was so evil it could not possibly come from a godly creature. Hello everybody, I'm the Rubber. Today we bring you SCP Foundation Keter Class Object SCP-4715. SCP-4715 is a large, six-legged carnivorous mammal with chimeric morphology standing at a minimum height of 5.2 meters and weighing 2,300 kilograms. Genetic analysis has been inconsistent, showing traces of modern wildlife, as well as Pleistocene-era and anomalous animals. It has a robust frame and a vaguely feline skull, with a carnivorous dental structure, stout muzzle, forward-set eyes, and a pair of large, backward-swept horns. Its primary forelimbs are long and end in proportionately large hands. It has 7 fingers, and each finger has a large semi-retractable claw. Its secondary forelimbs are multi-jointed and significantly longer, terminating in 3 heavily clawed fingers. Its hind legs appear ursine, and its tail is long and muscular, acting like a tripod for balance when standing on its hind legs. 4715 is extremely aggressive. It has been observed attempting to attack most humans it has encountered. However, it has never been observed hunting or pursuing other organisms. Larger animals will avoid 4715, instinctively fleeing from its scent. 4715 displays a level of intelligence roughly on par with that of a chimpanzee, and displays an aptitude for the fashioning and usage of tools as weapons. 4715 is also highly intuitive. it can accurately read the emotional and mental state of human beings around it. If 4715 perceives a subject intending to harm another, including itself, it will rapidly gain mass proportional to the number of such subject. The most egregious breach saw 4715 reach a height of approximately 24 meters and a weight approaching an estimated 56,000 kilograms. But depictions in recovered historic artifacts suggest the potential to grow larger, given sufficient exposure to situations of conflict. This effect reverses quickly as soon as it can no longer sense the harmful intentions of others, and it radiates intense heat as its mass decreases. 4715 has been observed attempting to draw uninvolved individuals into states of conflict just to increase its biomass, and often displays fascination and attraction towards states of conflict between human beings. Additionally, 4715 has proven highly resistant to most forms of conventional weaponry and physical trauma. It possesses reasonably consistent internal systems, and testing has shown that it does not require any form of nutrition to survive. It is resistant to most toxins, both artificial and naturally produced, as well as radiation, and caustic or acidic chemical exposure. Oils produced beneath its fur and skin flame makes 4715 resistant to temperatures higher than 1600 degrees Celsius and below negative 150 degrees Celsius. The most reliable method of control appears to be lacrimatory agent, a chemical that will cause severe eye and respiratory pain, and capsicanoids, which it appears to have no particular resistance to. In addition to SCP-4715's considerable natural durability, it can regrow significant amounts of lost tissue, including limbs that have been lost in violent encounters. Repair and regeneration of injuries and trauma will always spread outwards from the central nervous system, and will take longer to repair the more significant it is. To date, nothing is proven capable of causing damage to 4715's cranium, vertebral column, or central nervous system, and nothing is proven capable of neutralizing its capacity for regeneration. The existence of 4715 was confirmed by Foundation following an event that happened in October of 1916, but there is evidence suggesting its origin dates back significantly further in history. Recovered documents originating from various groups of interest, historical artifacts, and archaeological finds suggest that SCP-4715 has existed in its present form for most of human history. In 1981, a large wood carving originating from the mid-14th century Prussia was sent to the SCP Foundation. It depicts 16 mounted Teutonic knights engaging in a cavalry charge against 4715. This is one of the earliest known depictions of 4715's size-altering effect known. If the scale of this depiction is correct, it depicts 4715 being 9.4 meters in height, while engaging 16 mounted knights, which is consistent with the size change displayed in modern observations. An engraving translated to read, "Banishing of the beast from the earth," is present beneath the image. In 2005, a series of proto-human cave paintings were discovered in the Ardèche region of France. These paintings consist of imagery of 4715 engaging in attacks upon humanoid figures, with many examples being surrounded by skulls and other symbolic imagery. Radiocarbon dating places the origin of these paintings at being approximately 32 to 30,000 years before present. And while an archaeological team was researching on 4715, a journal that seems to be the depiction of 4715 by a Chinese farmer was found, and was then confiscated by the Foundation. The journal has sketches and descriptions about a monster emerging from a large pile of battlefield casualties and proceeding to move at speed in the direction of Nanjing. The following is a translated passage from the journal. After the village was massacred and the soldiers moved on, there were many bodies still clinging to earthly possessions that could be of great aid to my family. Waiting for the cover of nightfall, the smell was even worse than usual for a massacred town, and it seemed in the light of the setting sun that the sea of corpses stretched as far as the eye could see. Then, from the tallest of the piles of the dead, came a monster. It burst forth from the dead like a great fish from the sea, and its bellow was so evil it could not possibly come from a godly creature. It shook the blood from its midnight hair, and fled with haste to Nanjing. This discovery of LOI 517 Sigma has proven invaluable, in not only broadening the knowledge of SCP-4715, but also in providing many of the current containment procedures implemented today. If it wasn't for the knowledge obtained from this site, SCP Foundation would likely still be trying to contain 4715 with automated gunfire, and having to withstand containment breaches every few years. LOI 517 Sigma is a cave discovered by civilians in 2009, but was then further investigated by the Foundation. It was described as some kind of shiny bunker or Egyptian Colosseum in some caves, lit up by shiny plants. Investigation revealed that this structure was a long abandoned and dormant entrance to an organic complex. This complex has been determined to have served as the containment of 4715. There are minimal signs of damage to any of the structures, and the organic devices within are alive and powered, but inactive. A substructure at the bottom of the complex has been confirmed as once housing SCP-4715, and is constructed from indestructible plant material, inscribed with various designs bearing similarity to those found in various occult manuscripts and cave paintings. The structure features multiple redundant doors and linked security features, all of which are inactive. Rooms throughout the rest of the complex appear to be focused on providing research, administrative, and residential functionality, and show no sign of habitation. Throughout the complex are multiple images and descriptions of SCP-4715, depicting it engaging numerous instances of the original owners of LOI 517 Sigma and other unidentified entities in combat, in a manner largely consistent with modern observation, though some depictions show 4715 significantly larger than any previously recorded size. It is unknown if this is due to the artistic interpretations being inaccurate, or if 4715 can indeed reach even larger sizes. Beyond those pertaining to containment, there are two notable sources of documentation regarding 4715 that may shed some light on the possible origin of it. The first document was found carved above the access ports on the structure comprising the containment chamber, formerly housing 4715. The text is well preserved, but sections have been rendered incomprehensible by large scratches obscuring the writing. It is hypothesized that it was carved as a failsafe in the event of power outage. And found in another document, a text was painted onto a wall within the complex beside a large organic mechanism with various interfaces. And it quote, "The day the flowers bloomed was long ago now. Our shining cities are gone. The surviving children turned to beasts of the earth. We are gone now. The children of the sun have turned our weapons upon themselves, and they sleep in the night. They know not of the demon born from war, and cast aside any tool that could turn aside its fury. Endless rotation ends now. May the hairless usurpers suffer at its hands, and pay for their transgression. To any child of the night who finds my message, know that I have committed this crime to avenge our demise. You will not forgive me." It is pre-assumed that this text controlled the security or power of the complex. Along with this message, the skeleton of an SCP-1000 instance was discovered resting on the floor of the room with a hole in its skull. If you want to know more about SCP-1000, also known as Children of the Night, click here for the video. Analysis and radiocarbon dating of the skull suggests that the individual killed itself 34 to 33,000 years before present. But for now, SCP-4715 has been contained in the containment complex within Area 4715-23. Area 4715-23 is an underground compound located 315 meters below sea level, at an undisclosed location within Canada's Stykine region, chosen for both its distance from the nearest city and proximity to LOL 517 Sigma. Stocks of materials required for Procedure 4715 Waning Moon are to be maintained on site. Procedure 4715 Waning Moon is a ritual that must be performed on the full moon of each month, and requires the use of 1 D-Class personnel, hereby referred to as the Shaman, 60 kilograms of red meat, a hand-woven wicker basket, and human blood. The Shaman must be anointed with human blood and will then place the meat within the wicker basket. No other personnel may carry out this task. The Shaman will proceed to enter the containment chamber holding 4715 and place the meat on the ground before 4715. They will then prostrate themselves before the basket and recite the phrase, "This we offer for your continued torpor, flesh of your time, blood of my blood." The Shaman must remain prostrate and continue reciting the phrase until SCP-4715 has consumed the entirety of the meat. After consuming the meat, 4715 may or may not kill and consume the shaman, but doing so does not indicate a failure of the procedure. If the shaman survive, they are to retrieve the basket and exit the containment chamber. Failure to perform Procedure 4715, Waning Moon, will result in an exponential increase in aggression from SCP-4715. To date, most of these attempts have been successful. The continued use of surviving shamans has been approved, along with reward, punitive, and incentive programs among the D-Class population held on site, in an effort to ensure the continued success of Procedure 4715 Waning Moon. Before we end this video...
Yep, that's the one. So yeah, this is pretty much, what if Deku was feared, but we're gonna spice it up a little bit. Ben 10 AU. Yeah, you heard me right. Ben 10. Meaning we're adding Ben 10 into this. A lot of people have been asking for this one, so you can imagine why. So in this one, we actually start off with Izuku, aka SCP-4715. However, Izuku managed to escape because, well, someone purposely developed the Waning Moon. Then and also his chains were destroyed. And someone set him free. So he left and pretty much managed to escape the SCP Foundation. However, he caused enough damage that they have to force to pretty much wail on the SCP on his findings, meaning they can no longer find him. So, with SCP moving up in the place, aka Izuku managed to leave the compound and just bolt it. He bolted until he got there. He managed to leave the compound, and it took him a long time to actually do that. So when he managed to actually leave the compound, it pretty much ended with pretty much what you expect. Next, a bloody and gruesome torment. However, Izuku has found out more about the SCPs. But he does not look for them, mostly because he tries to keep a distance. However, that does not mean SCP-4715, aka Izuku, is not being found. It's just that they have to pretty much decline the search. So when they find Izuku, which they won't or can't due to Izuku. They pretty much have to stick with their usual thing. Now, when Izuku managed to get out there, he pretty much minds his own business for the past 3 years. Mostly because he's trying to keep a real profile. So half the shit they managed to find out about Izuku was false. And this one, Izuku has the intelligence of actually a normal human. But he just kept that part in the downfall for obvious reasons. So, when Izuku managed to leave the location, it took him a long time to actually get out of there. So, with Izuku, since we're now starting off with Izuku, and Izuku is just sitting there until he comes across Awesome. Once Izuku actually managed to get out of there, he managed to find a little home to call for himself, and pretty much started living there for the past 8 weeks. That is until he hears, "Come on, dude, we gotta." What makes you think that this guy is even here? To be honest, I don't. We don't even know. We aren't even 100% sure if he is here. And if he ain't, well, then we're fucked. Besides, we're just looking for Ben. It can't be that hard. What makes you think Ben is even here? Well, why? Where else would he go? Besides, he just got dumped. Izuku, who's now annoyed because he hears them, he pretty much just moves out of the way. But this is when they see Izuku and they mistake him for Ben. Ben? Come on, dude. This isn't funny. This is when Izuku starts moving further. Like, he's actually trying his best to keep his cool. Ben! Damn it, stop! Okay, Tennyson. This is not funny anymore. This is when they hear his howl. And immediately, they realize they weren't following Ben. They were just following he's following Izuku. What is that? I don't know, but I think we just angered it. This is when Izuku swipes his claws at him, and Kevin literally blocks it, but shoot! Kevin, are you okay? Yeah. Yeah, I think we pissed it off. This is when Izuku sweeps his tail, pretty much swipes his tail, and pretty much he hits Kevin and Gwen and sets them flying. This is when Izuku just starts walking to the watering hole, which he's been using to get his drinks. Izuku puts his cup's hands in together and pretty much starts drinking from it. This is when Izuku comes across a fish. Now, this is when Izuku just plunges in and grabs the fish. And he just enjoys the fish while he could because he knows he's big. He also knows it's going to take a lot more than just one single fish to pretty much fill him up. So he does what he can. This is when he says, "Well, who's that? Well, looks like we found." This is when pretty much Izuku comes across the person that they mentioned. And this Ben. And he just sees Ben just minding his own business. Like, that's legit what he's doing. So this is when Izuku just minds his own business and starts sitting down. Like I said, he doesn't really want to get it across with anything. So when Izuku sat down to see... The rest, when I miss, he pretty much goes to them. I mean, he pretty much just grabs some more fish, as usual. So, when Izuku grabbed more fish and went home... Izuku comes across... lost them. But he sees that Ben is just trying to live a life. So Izuku doesn't bother him. At least not now. Well, he will, but not today. Hey, mostly because Izuku's full. Well, anyway. This is when Izuku comes across... This is when pretty much Ben just sees him, but... like I said, Ben just moves on. With Kevin and Gwen, because they've been thrown to the car. Ah, my ride! Kevin... Ben... What? That thing just flung us to our car! Or to my ride. Man... Huh. Well, it looks like that's what it is. With Izuku, who is now just resting. Until he comes across Ben. Ben is a little curious about him, but Izuku sees him, but he doesn't let him know. Mostly because he can hear him. Huh. I wonder what you are, big guy. This is when Ben just touches him, and Izuku lets it happen because he's too full. This is when he sees the blood all over him. You're just a misunderstood creature. I better get going. This is when Ben just starts walking off. And this is when Ben just transforms into Jet Ray and pretty much just flies off. With Izuku, who's looking up. But Izuku just lays back down. With Kevin and Gwen. Kevin, do we really have to come here? Well, Mr. Smoothies is the only place that Ben would go. That's when he just goes there. Hello, you two. This is when they see the guy. Hey, has Ben been here? Ben? I haven't seen him in months. Kevin and Gwen are shocked. Wait, so he hasn't been here? Hasn't ordered anything? Nope. Have you tried his favorite chili fries? At the chili restaurant. Sorry, I haven't seen Ben in seen Ben in months. Is he okay? They give him more worried look. What the hell happened? We're about to find out. They search everywhere for him. They don't find him. But Izuku is pretty much... This is when Ben is just sitting at the water, minding his own business. Mind you, he built a little tree house for himself, and he just lays there. Looking at a picture, and he just tears up. Izuku hears the crying, and immediately goes there because, well, the crying is interrupting his sleep. This is when Izuku just drops off a fish at his door. And immediately Ben sees this and sees as a little bit of a "are you alright" moment. Oh, thanks, big guy. I can't call you big guy. Do you have a name? Izuku nods, and he strikes down Izuku. Izuku, huh? Well, Izuku, my name's Ben. Ben Tennyson. This one, Izuku waves his hand like, nice to meet you. Anyway. Sorry for waking you up. It's just been one of those days. He nods like he understands. You understand too, don't you? You know what it's like to deal with people like that. He nods. So Harry, well, Izuku, I guess well, do you do anything? He shakes his head. Well, anyway. Hey, thanks for the fish. This is when he starts, well, eating it. Thanks. This is when Izuku well, over the past months, Izuku and Ben have been pretty much hanging out a lot more. But this is when Ben pretty much starts laying on him more. With Ben, and who Izuku catches going for a wank. Immediately, Izuku sees this and immediately gets it. Oh. This is when he just shakes the compound. Whoa! Big guy. What are you... Izuku immediately knows what he's doing now. You startled me a little bit. What brings you here? Izuku just grabs him. Hey, where are you? And immediately he gets into him to the point where he's not going to deny anything. And just slams it in. I think we both know what this means. A couple of hours passed, and Ben is pretty much on his chest, and pretty much looks like he's about to pass out. Which he does. Back to Kevin for the past few months. It's no use, It's no use, Gwen. We looked everywhere. We can't find him. We gotta relook at the forest. That's the only thing I can think of. Gwen, what? Let him come to us. If he feels like he's ready to talk, let him talk. What do you mean by that? He hasn't called. He hasn't went to Mr. Smoothies. Gwen, he just went through a breakup. Yeah, but mostly breakups wouldn't last this long. True, but remember, this is hitting her a lot harder than anything. Okay? I guess. Where could he be? Who knows? Anyway, I'm gonna grab another Mr. Smoothie. You've been drinking a lot of those lately. Well, we may have to accept the fact that... Immediately, Gwen smacks him. Hey! We are not going there yet. And I won't accept it unless I see the body. Jesus, Gwen. It was just a thought. What? Yeah, well, I didn't like it. Jeez, alright. Hey, we'll find the body first. Jeez. Man, you smack. Well, you said something. What do you expect? A less hurtful smack? With Ben, who is pretty much now just training with Humongousaur and pretty much others, while Izuku just sit there and watch. This is when Kevin, we get back to Kevin and Gwen. This is when Kevin immediately stops the car. What? This is when Kevin says, "Fuck, I'm an idiot." What? This is when he just uses his player badge, presses the button, and they find a GPS on their missing comrade. Why didn't you? I forgot I had it. Hey, we were kind of in a rush. This is when he drives off, and Ben, going back to his human form... Thanks, big guy. This is when pretty much Ben just sits right next to him. And Izuku moves his tail to get him comfortable. And they just watch the sunset. Until they hear, Ben! 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 Look, Gwen, if he is here, we can't just walk up to him. Why not? He's been gone for a week. I mean, he's been gone for literally 7 months. 12, actually. He's been gone for almost 12. He's been gone for 12. It's December for 31st, remember? I'm just worried about him. Like I said, let him come to us. If we just look for him work, or it's just going to be harder. I still want to know where he is. This is what Kevin says under his voice. Oh, you're a dumb bitch sometimes. What did you say? Nothing? What did you say? Nothing. Come on, let's go find your cousin. You're acting... I'm annoyed. Why? Kevin gives her the look like, you really want to go there? Sorry. Sorry doesn't cut it. Hey, there's that big creature again. It says that Ben is right on it. It's right there. Ben! This is when Izuku looks back and he just growls. This is when they hear, huh? What is it, sweetie? Sweetie? This is when Ben pops up and pretty much just he's them. Kevin? Gwen? Ben! Whoa! Back up, Gwen. We don't know what that thing can do. Hey! Mind your tone. It's not a thing. Hey, what if I called your car a thing? Hey, would you be taking it lightly? Well, no. Don't call him a thing. He's gentle. Ben, he is covered in blood. Well, we weren't expecting to bump into humans that try to kill us. Wait, you allowed him to eat humans? I'm sorry, Mrs. High and Mighty, but if someone tried to kill your little sex toy, would you allow that to stand there? Hey, she's not... I was talking to you, Kevin. Wow, you're not in a good mood. You're interrupting our honeymoon. Besides, I just needed some me time. I just wanted to be away from the hero thing for at least a couple of months. Was it hard to ask? Because every time I want me time, I am either asked to save the world again. I mean, you two handled it without me, didn't you? Actually... Hey, not that great. Nope. Oh, we needed you more than anything. Fine, but on one condition. He gets to come. This is when Kevin says, I don't know, he would fit in the car. Oh, I'm not going back in the car. I'm riding with him. Whatever floats your boat, man. You're really not happy, are you? No, I just get car sick. You get car sick? How come you never? Because I always brought a barf bag and I always turn into that midget, that tiny alien, so I could throw up in it. Oh, that's nice of you. Yeah. Come on, big guy. He looks like Gwen. Izuku looks like Gwen and in disgust. And immediately us goes, what? This is when he said, this is when Izuku purposely sneezed on Gwen Tennyson. Gwen is giving that look as if you just poured frickin' snot all over her. This is when Ben goes, really? He shrugs, hunts, and walks to Ben. You know, at least he's kind enough not to do that on my car. He hates vehicles, but he hates loud noises too. This is when Ben gets on him. By the way, did you two... Why do you think I'm letting him carry me? This is when Kevin accidentally looks down. And he says, how did that even fit in there? Here. Please tell me you turned into Humongousaur or something. This is when Ben shakes his head. Wow. Congrats on being durable, man. But, does he have a name? Who? Izuku? Wait, his name is Izuku? Izuku nods. Cool. Let's go, dude. That's when they start walking. And when they managed to get to Mr. Smoothies, this is when they were about to close until they see Ben. Well, there you are. You want your usual? Can we get like an Omega king size cup? Why? My boyfriend's here. Oh, it's your boyfriend, and who's here? Relax, he doesn't eat, he only eats fish. I'll see what I can do. Ooh, I guess? And this is when Ben also puts a badge on him. Oh, now you're one of us, big guy. Just put it in your fur. Oh, that's what he just puts it in his fur. There you go. Now that SCP Foundation can't find you. What's the SCP? He explains the SCP and he explains he means Izuku's past. Wait. You're dating... Dude, he's literally like... Could be your grandfather. No, he can't be my grandfather. Technically, in his kind, they're known as teenagers around that year. That old. You know how to pick them. This one they hear, one giant smoothie. Does he even eat smoothies? That's a good question. We're about to find out. Izuku sniffs the thing and gives a look of confusion. It's a smoothie. Here. This one he just takes it a bite, but he gives it a naughty look. Immediately, Izuku takes a lick, but immediately he grabs it and just goes go. That is Kevin. This one Kevin says, and that is so, interesting. Oh, like Gwen hasn't done that to you. Yeah, true, but she never done it with a smoothie. She done it with an ice cream. Gwen steps on his toe. Yow! What was that for? What? He's doing that to him. Fair point. This is when Izuku, who saved enough for Ben, so saved some for Ben. Thanks, babe. And this one he takes a drink. And this one he just gets a smoothie stuffed out of his teeth. Huh. So... Well, how were you dealing with this? What do you mean? All this, like, this is obviously symbolizing that you wanted to get away from us, didn't you? Only for a brief minute. And like I said, Look, some people just need a break. And I needed a big break. Okay? Now, why don't we go back to, well, you know who. Oh, Well, anyway. Anyway, thanks for... Yeah. When they get there and Grandpa Max sees him, Ben! Huh? Grandpa immediately tries to go near him, but Izuku roars at Grandpa Max. Whoa, 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 babe, it's okay, he's friendly. Grandpa Max gets a look like, babe? Sorry, he's just protective. He's a little new to this place. Aren't you gonna help him hide? Grandpa, everyone knows about aliens, so there's no point in hiding him. And besides, this can show that aliens and humans can live together in harmony. Even by romance. Well, this is new. What about your girlfriend? Ex-girlfriend, you mean? Oh, how messy did it go? Badly. It got to the point where it got physical. How physical? Well, she slapped her, and Izuku turned, and Ben turned into forearms and just went wham on her. Or out of pure rage. Oh. I'm going inside. This is when Ben immediately goes into his fur. Wait, he can... This is when Gwen said... Wait, he can do that? I didn't even know he could do that. I mean... Well, actually that's a lie. I kind of knew, but at the same time I didn't. Huh. Well, this is going to be interesting. So, has Ben ever, no. Ben is all... But this is the first time I've ever seen Ben looking comfortable like that. I think he's used to people like that. What do you mean? Well, if you really think about it... it Ben and was always Ben, but for some reason I knew that he was gonna probably pull this stunt. What? You mean leave her? Yes, leave her. For some reason I just knew. Sounds stupid, I know, but when you really think about it, yeah, I know. But Ben, next time you feel like you're not wanted, remember that we are here. It's not that, it's just I needed a break. Hank, that's all. Really? That's all you needed? Was a break? Yep. I mean, if you're dealing with people like Bill Gax, and other monsters like that, you kind of just want a break. Like, you know? I know you probably don't think that I don't want it, but I really needed a break. I mean, if I dealt with people like that every day, I would have gone insane. This is when AC says, "Dude, we completely understand. If you need a break, you just need a break. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Thanks, guys. Hey, forget it. Hey, that's what friends are for. Or, to annoy you, but also to mentally help you at the same time." But, anyway, why don't we give him some chili fries? What makes you think he needs one? That's when Izuku starts drooling. Oh, that's what's giving it away. Well, that and looks like he's ready to bite someone. This is when Gwen tries to go to Ben, but Izuku starts slow growling her. What's his problem towards me? Hey. It could be anything. But I think the reason he's growling because he knows that I'm not ready to be touched yet. Oh. Alright, my bad. It's not your fault, Gwen. I'm just not ready for physical contact yet. Not without him, anyway. Alright. But it is good to know that you're alive. That's all that matters. Good to know. Alright, Big. This one needs to get going. When they get there... And they managed to actually follow up on the new things. But it hasn't been easy. What? Wasn't easy for you to act like all that? Yeah, that. Anyway, once I got reacquainted, they managed to look around a little more. Alright. When I get out. This one then just says, well, anyway, anything new I should know about while I was, well, gone? Oh, you missed a lot, Ben. How much is a lot? Like, it's not even funny. When I said you missed, I say you missed, like, a lot. It's not even funny. A lot of people thought you were dead. Oh, great. Don't tell me people think I'm at... Wait, isn't that a good sign if they think I'm dead? Not everywhere. There. Besides... You're gonna have to get back out there. Don't worry, your friend can come with. I hope so. Once they get there. Huh. Huh. Alright. Alright, let's do this. Mind you, you can't be... Alright. Hey, well... Thanks. We should probably get there. After the couple of years, Izuku, Ben, and pretty much became the well-known people around the world. But unfortunately, this is when this is when they get a call. Yellow? Hello, this is the SCP Foundation? If you're here for Izuku, it's not happening. Izuku? Oh, you mean... No, we're not here for 4715. As a matter of fact, we need your help. This one needs to... Ben raised an eyebrow. One of the SCPs got out. Can you be more... What SCP? Remember, I know what you people do. Yes, but you're able to control him. I mean, I know what you mean, but it doesn't mean I don't like it. So tell me why you're here. Why you're calling us. Like I said, the SCP Foundation has a rogue SCP. We need your help to find him. Okay. Is he dangerous? They're dangerous. And yes, because one of your men found them and they disappeared as well. Okay, you got my attention. What's the SCP called? The SCP that you are looking for, the SCPs are known as SCP-3288. Never heard of them. I'm not surprised. Here's what I know. Here's what you are needing to know. By the way, shout out to the rubber for this one as well.
Go, Daddy.
Anyway, I'm going for a wank.
Viewer discretion is advised. A dwarf 3288 climbed atop 3288 Alpha's shoulder and lifted its red veil, covering only the eyes. 3288 Alpha sniffed the air, then proceeded to lift the cauldron and pour the victims down its anonymously large mouth and gullet. Hello everybody, I'm the Rubber. Today we bring you SCP Foundation Keter Class Object SCP-3288. SCP-3288, also known as the Aristocrats, are highly predatory species or subspecies of the genus Homo. 3288 instances are mutated and deformed to an inhuman degree. They are completely hairless and have chalk-white, light-sensitive skin. Their arms are fully twice as long as a human's, and in polydactyl hands, covered in enamel. The substance tends to fracture and shift, causing pain, but allowing the afflicted to remain mobile. SCP-3288 instances hate and fear bright light, which causes them great pain. The mental state of 3288 are unstable, primarily characterized by delusions of grandeur and malignant narcissism. 3288 are usually about human-sized, often slightly shorter due to their pronounced hunchbacks, but some instances can grow much larger than any human. 3288 instances have abnormal muscle strength despite having the appearance of severe emaciation. They also exhibit heterochromia, with each eye a different color. Colors range from blue, red, purple, and yellow. Their most horrific feature is a massive mouth with grotesquely jutting jaws, containing at least 60 huge teeth, approximately 6 times the size of normal adult teeth, packed unevenly into 6 rows. 3288 are also addicted to eating human flesh, primarily targeted the most vulnerable of the population, such as prostitutes, unsupervised children, transients, and inebriated or otherwise indisposed individuals. These detrimental traits have not been only negated, but inversely amplified, resulting in longer lifespans, increased resistance to disease, and anonymously high levels of fertility. SCP-3288 pregnancies have a gestation period of around 2 weeks, and usually produce multiple offspring, which reach physical and sexual maturity in less than 2 years. According to the entries by Leopold I, it seems that the creation of SCP-3288 is the result of the introduction of an anomalous gene into the Habsburg family bloodline. This gene allows human DNA to resist certain deleterious conditions associated with inbreeding. The House of Habsburg continued its practice of inbreeding. Those with significant deformities were hidden from the public. The Habsburg monarchs even created vast vaults to house them, and those who more closely resembled baseline humans remained on the surface. Documents reveal that the lifestyle of those who live in the vault is as luxurious as the one above. The request of food, wine, and entertainment over time become eccentric and strange, and eventually depraved. Among these requests was a substantial supply of human corpses, killed by the Great Plague of 1738, for use as food. Among the entries, there's one document that contains a list of vaults. The Foundation has used this information to locate and neutralize SCP-3288 hives, but half of the document was illegible due to mold-related damage. This means that at least half of these vaults will continue to be a significant threat to the public. SCP-3288 were first found out by the Foundation in 1988. They became aware of 3288 while investigating reports of unexplained disappearances in Vienna. It was discovered that these incidents occurred near sewer holes and access tunnels. 2 agents were dispatched to Vienna to determine whether or not those unexplained disappearances were of an anomalous nature. Interviews with law enforcement and government officials revealed that human remains belonging to 3 individuals had been recovered, but that this information was not released to the public due to concerns of causing further panic. These remains were then delivered to Humanoid Containment Site 282 in Graz. Autopsy reports noted that the 3 remains displayed no injuries corresponding with a human attacker. The doctor concluded that all sustained injuries were caused by a mix of teeth, claws, and raw physical strength. Further analysis revealed unique patterns among the bite marks, suggesting that there existed more than one source. In order to track down 3288, Mobile Task Force Sigma-6 was ordered to patrol the Leopoldstadt district, which has the highest number of recorded disappearances. Operatives are instructed to target 3288 with tracking darts and to refrain from lethal force. Their first operation happened on the 10th of June, 1988. 12 MTF Sigma-6 operatives patrolled the Leopoldstadt district in the evening. 2 hours later, operatives 12 and 09 reported hearing a muffled scream near the Donau Canal and sought to investigate the matter while requesting backup. Support arrived 3 minutes after the initial request and found the mangled remains of both operatives, as well as the half-consumed body of a local civilian. Operative 12's head was detached from his body and was never located. His neck had sustained injuries suggesting that it had been severed or destroyed by a single bite. A trail of blood and entrails led to Operative 09, who had been torn in half along the waist. He had successfully crawled into an alleyway before succumbing to his injuries. The mission was deemed a success despite the loss of life, as Operative 09 had successfully struck the SCP-3288 instance with a tracking dart. The entity had escaped into the sewers, its movements tracked until the signal began to fade before entirely disappearing. A month later, MTF Sigma-6 operatives were sent out again to the last known location of 3288. The Foundation hoped to minimize the possibility of escape and public exposure. Therefore, this time, they can use lethal force, if necessary. After several hours of investigation, Operatives 04 encountered human skeletal remains while wading through waist-deep water. Closer analysis of this area uncovered several loose bricks, which removal revealed an unrecorded subterranean chamber, whose walls were engraved with the House of Habsburg's coat of arms. The chamber included 24 sarcophagi, and was presumably a family crypt belonging to the House of Habsburg. Prying open the sarcophagi revealed the skeletal remains of over 300 victims, all displaying severe and likely fatal deformities. At the far end of the crypt was a vault door composed of bronze, with no apparent means of access, and seemingly impenetrable without proper equipment. The door displayed the House of Habsburg coats of arms, and was engraved with the words, "For purity of blood." MTF Sigma-6 operatives were ordered to hold their current location and await the arrival of an infiltration team. Foundation agents organized the temporary evacuation of the city and the sealing of all sewer access points. Finally, after many attempts to open the vault door, the bronze gate was finally carved apart via oxyfuel cutting torches and revealing a spiral staircase. An 8-person squad descended the staircase, with radio transmission growing increasingly faint as the operatives traveled down the stairs. Red ground flares were periodically lit and discarded, providing a clear path of return. Operatives reached the bottom of the stairwell, where the gray stone halls of the crypt were replaced by architectural designs resembling 18th century depictions and reflecting the early Rococo artistic style popular during the era. The location, hereafter known as SCP-3288-1A, contained various sculptures and Corinthian columns, while paintings and tattered tapestries adorned its walls. All depictions of the human form have been literally defaced, regardless of artistic medium. Operatives told Control Center that the air smells like rotten meat and stale sweat. The floor and walls were stained with blood. Traveling through the corridor, operatives entered what appeared to be SCP-32881's library. The desk contained documents relating to alchemy, biology, contracts, and private journals. Most of these were in Latin and German. Operatives reached the ballroom and opera hall, describing the air as fetid. The aroma of perfume was also noted. The area contained a number of instruments. There were several refectory tables, probably used as a dining hall as well. Atop the tables were human remains in various levels of decomposition and culinary presentation. A bell abruptly began to toll, and was followed by the automatic music of a nearby pipe organ. The discordant song played for approximately 3 minutes. When the pipe organ ceased its playing, it was followed by the sound of opening doors and shuffling footsteps. Operatives were ordered to hide behind the curtains and deactivate their flashlights. Unfortunately, Operatives 18 fell behind, having tripped over a pile of bones, and forced to take cover behind a harpsichord. Operatives observed the entire ballroom from the far corner of the stage curtain. The ballroom's wide gates opened. SCP-3288 walked in while dressed in the garb of 18th century courtiers. Then a pair of diminutive SCP-3288 entered, lagging behind the others. One blew a rusty trumpet while the other acted as standard bearer, holding a crudely painted ensign depicting a red lion on a black field. The trumpeter and standard bearer quickly moved aside after making an announcement, their stunted legs causing them to tumble and roll as they fled. There now appeared to be several hundred SCP-3288 throughout the ballroom. Operatives 01 activated a silent distress call, requesting heavy support. All 3288 proceeded to kneel and lower their heads. An exceptionally corpulent instance of SCP-3288, classified as SCP-3288-Alpha, entered the room, carried by other SCP-3288 via an enlarged and reinforced sedan chair. 3288-Alpha was dressed in a patchwork of noble finery, stitched together from various fabrics to create a single outfit capable of fitting its frame. It wore a crown that had come to more closely resemble a torture device, too small for its head but held in place by an overgrowth of flesh. In lieu of a masquerade mask, it hid its face beneath a red shroud. A large iron cauldron containing deformed living victims was delivered to SCP-3288-Alpha's table. A dwarf 3288 climbed atop 3288-Alpha's shoulder and lifted up its red veil, covering only the eyes. 3288-Alpha sniffed the air, then proceeded to lift the cauldron and pour the victims down its anonymously large mouth and gullet. The other 3288 raised their masks and began to feast. An exceptionally tall specimen approached the harpsichord and snatched Operative 18 from behind it. The entity unhinged its jaw and quickly forced the operative down its throat first. His screams unheard among the sounds of feasting and discordant music. Suddenly, an explosion rocked the event, causing mass casualties among the 3288. It is hypothesized that Operative 18 survived his ordeal and was able to activate an explosive device, sacrificing himself in order to terminate 3288. Panic spread among the remaining 3288. MTF Sigma-6 took this opportunity to release 3-methylfentanyl to make 3288 unconscious. With the arrival of reinforcements, the survivors were secured and contained at Humanoid Containment Site 282. The sheer size of SCP-3288-Alpha necessitated the use of a specialized crane and the creation of a shaft directly connecting SCP-32881 to the surface. Following the removal of SCP-3288-Alpha, SCP-32881 was filled with cement and reburied. Remember to check out my new animation channel, The Rubber Talk.
When I got that information, this is when Ben says, you want us to use lethal force, or they're too dangerous to be left alive? So it's up to you. What do you think, big guy? He nods and he pops out his claws. Well, looks like we're killing some nobles. Any other SCPs got out? No. Those were the only SCPs that actually left. The other SCP... These didn't really show any containment. Alright. They probably went back to their main location, where their home is. Well, let's hope you're right. Neat. This is when Izuku Midoriya, along with them start walking forward. This is when Izuku starts going to them and starts looking for them. And Izuku follows his sense of smell to find them. Immediately, Izuku starts gagging and pretty much saying that he's thinking he's smelling something horrible. We're getting close. What makes you think that? Izuku hates the smell of rotting flesh. He's okay with raw beef, but he's not okay with rotted flesh. Makes him gag. And remember, his smell is twice as horrible. I mean, his smell is twice as strong. This is when he immediately finds one of the SCPs, aka the, crap. What are they called? SCP, give me a minute. How can I forget the fucking name? We were just done talking about the damn thing. Where are you? Nope. SCP, he sees an SCP-3288 attack, but immediately Izuku grabs the creature by the head and just crushes it. More SCPs have tried to tell him out, but Izuku grows massively in size. Kevin goes on it because when he find out that they can easily crush his hands and bend metal, he immediately knew, like, nope, I'm being smart, I'm climbing. And pretty much Izuku took care of the creatures and pretty much started killing them. But not eating them because they just smell bad. And he just takes them all out. After killing them, and pretty much killing the big one as well, because he was not going to let that thing live. This one Izuku pretty much gets done with it, and all the other SCP soldiers get there. And they just find the corpses. So, what do you want? What makes you think, why else would an SCP scientist be here? How about we make a deal? Oh? You allow SCP to be with this big guy, the Demon Board of War, to be with us and allow to join the plumbers. In return, we help you deal with other SCPs if they manage to get out. But only if they escape. Deal? Very well. Deal. No. What about the council? The council is allowing this. Ben is able to keep him calm. We don't want to separate these two. Come on, think of the casualties. And think of the people he will kill. Izuku smiles. Yeah, you're right. This is when Izuku pretty much... Izuku walks down. Anyway, why don't we go back to Mr. Smoothies? Izuku wags his tail. That's what I thought. And that's when Izuku immediately just starts getting there and drinks more smoothies. Well, looks like you have a new boyfriend. And I'm okay with it. And that's when Izuku just constantly starts licking him. Thanks, big guy. I needed a bath. We're gonna have to make a bigger house. Wait, are you? Like I said, we have a new ally. So we might as well just get to it. You worry we have to deal with other CPs? In the future, yeah, we will. And, this is when they pretty much had a good life. I say good life because Ben died from age along with Kevin and Gwen. Unfortunately, Izuku alive. This is what he hears. But luckily, this one he hears, are we going, Dad? Izuku nods. And this one you finally hear him say, yeah, let's go home. And that's it. This has been the one shot of What If Deku Was Feared, Ben 10AU. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. This has been Duckle Dylan here, and bye.